I am 76 years old today, and I spent most of this morning sitting in a green armchair by the window, watching the rain. This house is far too large for one man, but the silence inside is exactly the size I made it. It's a heavy thing, silence. You don't notice it building up over the years. You think you're just building a life, a career, a reputation. You think you're being a man of principle. But then you wake up at 76 and realize you didn't build a life at all. You just built a wall, brick by brick, out of your own stubbornness. And now you're the only one left on this side of it. I have a daughter, Sarah. She lives 3 states away in a house I've only seen in photos. We speak on the phone occasionally, but the conversations are thin. We talk about the weather or my blood pressure. We talk about the things people talk about when they have nothing left to say, but feel a lingering obligation to keep the line open. Every time I hang up, I feel a physical ache in my chest because of everything that wasn't said. I let my pride ruin her childhood, and by extension, our future. I've spent 40 years calling it other things: discipline, high standards, preparation for a hard world. But sitting here now, I can't lie anymore. It was just pride. I wanted a daughter who reflected well on me, a trophy for my parenting, rather than a human being with her own heart. When I was in my 30s, I was a middle manager at a manufacturing plant. I worked 12-hour days and was immensely proud of that. I thought providing a brick house and a reliable car was the full extent of my contract as a father. I'd come home tired and craving order. I wanted the house to be a sanctuary where my word was law. Sarah was a bright, messy, loud little girl who had this way of humming when she drew pictures, a constant low buzz of pure happiness. I remember one Tuesday afternoon that sticks in my mind like a splinter. She must have been 6 or 7. She had spent the afternoon painting a picture of our old dog, Buster. It was just a smudge of brown paint on construction paper, but she was beaming. She ran to me while I was reading the paper, and in her excitement, she got a tiny dot of wet paint on my work trousers. Not much, just a speck. But I didn't look at her face or the drawing. I looked at the stain. I spent 10 minutes lecturing her about being careless and respecting the things I worked hard to buy. I watched the light go out of her face. It didn't just dim, it went out. She took her paper, went to her room, and I went back to my news, feeling satisfied that I had taught her a lesson. In reality, I had only taught her that my trousers were more important than her joy. That scene played out 1,000 times. When she got older and interested in music, I told her it was a waste of time. I didn't say it because I was worried about her. I said it because I didn't want to be the father of a struggling artist. I wanted the reflected glory of her being a lawyer or a doctor. My pride was a hungry thing, and I fed it with her dreams. The worst part was my obsession with being right. If we had an argument, I wouldn't let it go until she admitted I was correct. I would use logic like a weapon, breaking down her feelings until she was exhausted. I thought I was shaping a strong mind. I didn't realize I was just teaching her that her voice had no power in my presence. The damage was a slow leak. By the time you notice the water, the foundation is already rotted through. The turning point came when she was 22. She had met a young man, a carpenter named Mark. He was a good man, but he didn't fit the image I had imagined. I made my disapproval the center of our relationship. I gave her an ultimatum, truly believing my authority would win out. I thought she would fold and choose my approval, but she didn't. She chose him. And because I was too proud to admit I'd overstepped, I didn't go to their wedding. I sat right here in this house, nursing my principles, while my only child was starting her life. I told myself she'd come crawling back. She never did. Years went by before we spoke again. My wife, Mary, eventually got sick. And even then, even when Sarah came to the hospital, I remained stiff. I wanted an apology before I would offer her my affection. I was 62 years old, watching the love of my life fade away, and I was still holding out for a win. When Mary died, the house became a tomb. Sarah stayed for the funeral, helped me clear out the closets, and then she left. She was polite, but she was a stranger. She looked at me with a weary pity that hurt worse than anger. She had simply learned how to live without me. She had outgrown the need for a father who was always right, and I was left with the hollow victory of my own silence. Now, I spend my days thinking about the time I can never reclaim. I think about the school plays I attended but didn't truly watch. I think about the woman she is now and realize I don't really know her. You think you have time. That's the great deception. You think there will be a later where you can fix the things you're breaking now. But time isn't a river. It's a series of closing doors. Once a door is shut, you can bang on it all you want, but the person on the other side might not be listening anymore. I am 76, and I have everything I thought I wanted: the house, the pension, the reputation, and it is all completely worthless. I would trade every victory I ever had for one afternoon of hearing that humming noise in the hallway again, but I cannot. I am left with the consequences of being a man who couldn't say I'm sorry until there was no one left to hear it. If you still have someone who looks at you with hope, please put your pride in a box and bury it. Be wrong. Be soft. Let them see you care more about them than you do about being right. I'm going to call Sarah tonight. I'll ask about her kids, and she'll tell me they're fine. I'll probably just tell her to check the oil in her car. It's the only way I know how to be a father now, and it's not enough. Take care of your people while you still have them.